a coalition of 6 large males, led by their father, known as Notch. During the first years of their reign, they ruled an area of approximately 1,000 square kilometers. Their rule began in 2008 and lasted until mid-2019. During that time, they became the main kings of the Masai Mara, a place located in Kenya. They commanded large prides such as the Paradise, the Muguru, the Rongai Pride, among several others. Notch, the father and leader of the 5 males, was an extremely large lion with a very dark mane, who lived in the Musiara swamp of the Masai Mara. In 2003, he ruled alongside a coalition partner, and they were kings for 2 years. By 2005, Notch was already alone, as his coalition partner had been killed in a battle against males who wanted to take over the territory. But during their reign, they had sired a variety of cubs in the March Pride, of which 8 survived, 5 males and 3 females. Notch continued to defend and endure like any king, maintaining dominance and control over his territory. And so he held on for 2 more years, until finally in 2007 he encountered 3 young and very strong males, and he had no choice but to flee if he wanted to survive. The Rangers thought this was the grand finale for the brave lion Notch, since there are few cases of exiled and solitary lions managing to survive in the vast African savanna, especially in the Masai Mara. But Notch was a cunning lion. When he left, he didn't go alone, he took his 5 sons with him. Perhaps this story of the lion Notch reminds you a lot of another great king who lived in Sabi Sand. That's right, I'm referring to the master of the MAPOGO, the great lion Makulu. Notch's 5 sons were given names. Notch 2. He was named that because he closely resembled his father. Long was the eldest of the brothers. There were also the agile and brave Ron and Caesar, and finally the youngest, Grimace. The 5 males, together with their father Notch, were expelled from their lands in 2007, when they were about 2 to 2.5 years old. But for a year, Notch took care of his sons. He taught them the main survival techniques. He taught them how to hunt and how to fight. Notch had the great idea of taking revenge against the intruders who had expelled him, and he succeeded. In 2008, the mighty Notch returned to his swamp, but this time with his 5 warriors accompanying him. Notch managed to reclaim his lands and the prides that once belonged to him and his coalition partner. But even so, regaining his old lands was not enough for Notch. Now that he commanded such a powerful coalition, he wanted to conquer more lands. And so he led his children to other challenges, conquering approximately 7 packs and proclaiming himself the most powerful coalition of the Aymara mass. At last, the mighty Notch coalition was formed. A coalition named after the father in recognition of his strong leadership and everything this lion had to endure to achieve success. Notch and his sons ruled for 2 years, driving away intruders who tried to take their territory. The first blow to this coalition came in 2010, when Long, the eldest of the brothers, disappeared in the Mara Triangle. Nothing more was ever known about Long or how he disappeared. Even so, the 4 brothers led by Notch were more than enough to fight off any rival coalition and still remain the dominant males in the area. In 2013, the coalition experienced its true decline. Notch, the father and leader of the coalition, disappeared during an enemy mission, and not long after, his son, the youngest Grimace, also vanished as a result of venturing out to seek new enemy territories. Only 3 males remained, 3 kings who, seeing their companions disappear, settled down and continued to reign over the Lookout Hills. By 2016, Ron had disappeared. He was probably killed by another coalition in a battle to defend the territory. A year after Ron's death, the lion Caesar developed an abscess on his hind leg, on the upper part, which caused him to limp and, in turn, lose weight due to the limitations that prevented him from moving freely. Veterinarians in the area tried to help and heal him, but after 2 months, when they observed him again, Caesar was alive, but in very poor condition. Caesar could barely move, and it was only a matter of time before he left this world. The great king was last seen lying on the banks of the Mara River, land that was still his. This lion died naturally in his kingdom. Notch II, the last great warrior of the Notch coalition, was already 13 years old, and it was to be expected that another coalition of young males would attack him and finally put an end to his reign and his life. But nature is so incredible that, surprisingly, Notch II followed in his father's footsteps and took his son with him, so that he could continue protecting the lands and one day reclaim everything that his father and brothers once ruled. Notch II lived for many more years with his son by his side. In some way, he still lives on in the great African Savanna. This lion learned a lot from his father, and his actions prove it. The great Notch coalition will never return, but its legacy will endure for many more years, thanks to the offspring they left behind, who are now young lions and will soon rule the marshlands of the Masai Mara. In fact, many of Notch's grandsons are already kings. Some of them surpass the size of an average lion, thanks to the lineage that Notch left behind. The legacy of the Notch coalition will remain for years in African land. So friends, what did you think of the story of one of the most famous coalitions in Africa? Some say that these lions have even more power than the great MAPOGO. I'd like to know what you think, so leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and it would help me a lot. Leave a like. I love you all, folks. And well, with nothing more to say, see you in the next video.
Like an adjective, I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, isn't that spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas.